Good afternoon, everybody, and touch the leg. So today, the topic, I think, mainly about exchanging self and other for generating bodhichitta. So before we start the actual class, we all do the short the breathing meditation. First, you be relaxed, sit very comfortably on your cushion, on your chair, on your bed. Just feel free and be relaxed. So first, you block your right nostril and breathe in and out 3 times. Second, then you block your left nostril, breathe in and out 3 times. Then the both nostril 3 times. Then block here, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Like totally 21 times. Next, please visualize Buddha Shakyamuni with 2 disciples, Shariputra and Moggallana. Around the Buddha Shakyamuni, please visualize Maitreya Buddha and the Manjushri and all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And wish to take refuge into Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Page number 5. With the wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha until I reach full enlightenment. With the wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until I reach full enlightenment. With the wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until I reach full enlightenment. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the man of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. I go for refuge to the Tribal Gem. I confess the negativity individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddhahood in my heart. So please everybody generate bodhicitta based on 7 cause and effect. Before generate the bodhicitta, you need to cultivate compassion towards all sentient beings without exceptions. Before cultivate bodhicitta, great compassion, you need to practice the 4 immeasurables practice. Among the 4, first, we need to practice the equanimity towards all sentient beings. In order to practice the equanimity, first, you need to focus, you need to hold a person which is neither your friend nor your enemy. Please visualize a person and look at the person. you don't have an attachment, neither attachment nor hatred. This person gets something special, you don't feel so enjoy, so happy, because you don't have a attachment towards the person. Something bad happened to the person, you don't feel upset, unhappy, because you don't have a attachment. Second, please visualize your dear friend, one of the best friend, or your best relatives, one of the best relatives, and imagine something good happen to the person. How do you feel? Do you feel upset? Don't you feel anything? No, you feel very happy. You feel joy because you have an attachment towards the person. Some bad thing happened to the person. Don't you feel upset, unhappy? Yes, you can feel upset, very unhappy, because you have an attachment. Therefore, second, you must have a same mind towards the friends, which is you have a equanimity towards the indifferent person. He or she is your friend, but you no need to be attached on it. Step number 3, you must have the same feeling which you already have towards the indifferent person, towards your friend. Now you visualize, you remember the person which you think he or she is your enemy. When you remember the person, how do you feel? Do you feel happy? No. When you remember the enemy, you feel very uneasy. You have an uneasy feeling. Some good thing happen, you feel upset because you have a sense of hatred. You have an angry towards the enemy. Some bad thing happen to the enemy, you feel happy, you feel joy, you wish to have more problems to the enemy because you have a hatred, you have a anger, you're angry with the enemy, you hate the person. Therefore, some good thing happen, you feel very upset. Some bad thing happen, you feel very happy because you have a sense of angry to the person. Therefore, third, you must have a same feeling towards the enemy which you have towards your friends and friends. Therefore, based on equanimity, you need to cultivate great compassion, great love. In order to practice love, you need to accept all sentient beings as your dear parents, your dear mother. In order to accept, in order to feel all sentient beings are as your dear mother, first you need to visualize your friends. We already have a love towards our friend. You generate more strongly love towards your friends. Second, please generate very pure love towards the person who are indifferent, neither your friend nor your enemy. Wish the person be happy. Wish the person have a cause of happiness. Number third, please visualize the person who you really hate him, who you really don't like the person, and cultivate pure love. Wish the enemy also be happy, have a happiness, have a cause of happiness. Once you have pure love, then easy to have compassion. So based on the 7 cause and effect, please generate bodhichitta. So this lineage, come from Atisha, also from Maitreya Buddha. Second, we have another instruction how to generate bodhicitta, which is introduced by Master Shantideva, all the way from Manjushri, all the way from Buddha Shakyamuni. Therefore, when you visualize the field of merit, you must visualize Maitreya Buddha and Manjushri as 2 lineages of the bodhicitta, also profound and the vast teachings. Now we start the second lineage, exchanging self and others. Here, I ask everybody many times, whatever we practice, whatever we believe, it is not just simply we believe. It is we believe, we practice as a very important matters. Also, we have talking about bodhicitta. Also, we are talking about the practical things. So it is possible or not to practice the bodhicitta through exchanging self and others. Yes, it is very possible. How? Therefore, at the beginning, here are 3 parts. Contemplating the benefit of exchanging self and other, and the faults of not exchanging self and others. So therefore, we need to practice exchanging self and other. We need to know the benefits of practicing exchanging self and other. Also, we need to know the faults of not exchanging self and other. Right? Then number 2, the ability to exchange self and other, if you accustom yourself to the thoughts of doing so. Yes, exchanging self it is possible if you very custom, if you really try to familiarize it Then number 3, the stages of meditating on how to exchange self and other. First, contemplating the benefit of exchanging self and other, and the faults of not exchanging self and other. Therefore, why we need to practice, exchanging self and other. Yes, if you're able to practice exchanging self and other, you will have a lot of benefits. If you are not able to practice exchanging and self, you will have a lot of problems and sufferings. So what kind of benefit we can have? Then there's a quotation from Bodhisattva Deeds by Shantideva. It's very important, please everybody memorize. Whoever wish to quickly protect self and other must exchange self for other. Practice the excellent secret. Therefore, whoever wish to quickly protect self and others. So we are, considered as a Buddhist. Not only Buddhist, we also consider as a follower of Mahayana tradition. Therefore, we always wish to protect ourselves, protect others. If you always think, protecting yourself, that means you are not following the Mahayana teaching, Mahayana tradition. Therefore, you need to think, protect others. Therefore, we need to practice the exchanging self and other. Number 2, whatever worldly joy there is arises from wishing for others' happiness. Whatever worldly suffering there is arises from wishing for your own happiness. Therefore, if you always wish to achieve your own happiness, you always think your own benefit, only your own benefits, you will have a lot of sufferings. If you always think, other happiness, others' welfare, you will have a lot of joy, a lot of happiness. Therefore, if you're not able to practice exchanging and self, then you are always think your own benefit. If you think always your own benefit, you never be happy, you never be content. The second quotation, what need is there to say more? Look at the difference between these two. Who are these two? Ordinary person like us and the Buddha. Ordinary person act for their own welfare, the sage acts for other welfare. So why Buddha Shakyamuni, all other Buddhas achieve lasting happiness? Why all the Buddhas completely free from sufferings? Because they practice exchanging self and others. Why we have our sufferings? Why we are in samsara? Because we are not able to practice the exchanging self and others. The last quotation, if you do not genuinely exchange your own happiness for other sufferings, you will not achieve Buddhahood, and even in secular existence, you will have no joy. Therefore, so here, I think what you need to think, what you need to know, if I'm not able to exchange my benefits and other benefits, then I cannot achieve Buddhahood, even though I cannot be happy in samsara. So here how we know, the exchanging is very important, is very nice. For example, in your family, one of the person is always be self-centered. One of the person always thinking, his or her own benefit. He or she doesn't care, other friends, other relatives. They always think only me. Yes, the person can have a, little bit more material things. He can have he can earn more money. He can have more the physical things. He can have more clothes. But mentally, you can see the person is always unhappy because the person have a self-centered attitude. Within your friends or family, someone always think about others, always think other benefits, others' welfare. Yes, physically, materially, he or she cannot have much. He or she cannot have a lot of money, lot of the physical things, but mentally, the person is very calm, very satisfied, very happy. So far, we have all kinds of problems because we always hold I am, me is the most important than the rest of the sentient beings, rest of the human beings. So since today, we need to change the mentality. Until now, we think I am more important, most important. Since today, we need to think others are more important than me and myself. Number one, because you are just one. Others, sentient beings, other human beings is a numberless. So many. Reason number two, if you always think yourself, you cannot be happy. You cannot achieve the lasting happiness. You cannot achieve Buddhahood. Therefore, we need to practice exchanging self and others. Therefore, at the beginning, you really need to think the benefit of exchanging self and other, the faults of not exchanging self and others. So this is, the benefit and the faults. Second, it is possible, is there possibility or not to exchanging self and other? Yes, it is very possible. It is, ability. It is able to exchange. How? Now you see here, the ability to exchange self and other, if you accustom yourself to the thoughts of doing so, if your custom is very important. If you really, try to familiarize, then everything is possible. Everything is possible. For example, the first time, if somebody asks you to kill an insect, you're scared. You're very worried killing an insect. You cannot kill an insect. you feel scared. Somehow somebody asks you to kill the insect many times, then slowly, first you play a little bit with the insect, finally you're able to kill the insect. You don't feel scared. You kill the insect. Then second, somebody asks you to kill, bit bigger insect. At the beginning, you feel scared. You don't want, you're so worried to killing the bigger insect. Then somehow you're able to kill it. Then you are, able to kill big animal like cow or sheep. You don't feel scared. Then slowly, when you kill people, you don't have a sense of scare. You're happy to kill the people because everything happened based on a custom, based on practice. Same way, changing yourself is, as a beginner, is very difficult practice. If you custom, put effort continuously, slowly you can exchange, the mental state. Care yourself, neglect other. You need to exchange, this kind of mental state. It is possible. Then the example here mentioned, your enemy, your pure enemy. First time when you hear, even though when you hear the person name, you feel scared, you feel very unhappy. You don't want to see, you don't want to hear the person name. Somehow, after exchanging their phone number or email address slowly, and you become, friend with the enemy. Slowly, you become very close friend, the person which you consider as your enemy. Finally, become your best friend. Since, absence of the person, you feel very unhappy, you feel loneliness. Everything happened because of the custom, because of the practice, because of the familiarizations. Therefore, it is possible. Then there's at the last paragraph, page number 52, question. Since someone else's body is not your body, how can you develop the same attitude that you have towards your own? Reply, your body was produced from your father's sins and your mother's blood. Even though it was produced from a portion of someone else's body, you conceive it to be your own by the influence of previous conditions. Yes, if you custom, also it is possible you can feel, other body is your body is not your own body. So this means, exchanging self and other is very possible because of this example. Number 3, the stages of meditating on how to exchange self and others. Now is the actual important topic. Perhaps exchanging self and other and making oneself other and other oneself do not indicate attaining in an attitude which think I am other or other eyes, etc. or mean they indicate action in the orientation of the true state of the mind. Now it's very important. Look at, when we say exchanging self and other, it doesn't mean you need to think, it doesn't mean, okay, you need to think your others, other are you. No. You cannot think I am other, other are me. You cannot think my eyes are, belongs to other, others' eyes belong to me. No, we are not talking about exchanging the body. we are not talking about changing you and other. We are talking about changing the mental state. Here, the indicate changing in the orientation of true state of mind of cherishing yourself and neglecting others. Very important, right? What are the true the mental state? What are the true state of the mind? This means cherishing yourself and neglecting others. Therefore, until now, we always cherish ourselves. We always neglect others. Also, we cherish ourselves, we also neglect other sufferings and other welfare, other benefits. They indicate a change in the orientation of the true state of mind of cherishing yourself and neglecting others. When you develop the attitude of cherishing others as you personally do yourself. Personally, what we do, we always cherish ourselves. We always think our own benefit. Until now, we think only our own interest, right? So, since today, you should not think your own benefit. You should think only other benefits. Until now, you always think your own interest. Since today, you only think other interest. Until now, you are very worried about your own sufferings. Since today, you more consider about suffering and other suffering of other sentient beings. So, exchanging the mental state. Until now, we neglect others, also other happiness. Since today, you neglect your own benefit, neglect your own suffering. That means exchanging the mental state. So when we practice, this main practice, then we will have two obstacles. What are the two obstacles? One, you make a categorically differentiation between people who are happy or suffering, yourself and other, making them different as a blue and yellow. So until now, when we think others, when we think, ourselves, we think other and ourselves is totally different. It look like, like a blue and yellow. When you look at the color, blue and yellow is a totally true phenomena. The yellow never became blue, the blue never became yellow. They always separated. Then other ends you is not look like yellow and blue. Because look at here, then you accomplish your happiness and remove your suffering because you think of them as mine. And you neglect other happiness and suffering because you think of them as belongs to others. First, we have a concept, totally separate concept, me and other. The second, we think this is my happiness. I must achieve. This is my suffering. I must remove. Second, this is their suffering. I don't need to remove. This is their happiness. I don't try to achieve for them. First, we may totally make a separate me and their, me and them. Second, we think my happiness, their happiness. And me and others, I and others. We are not exist, not dependently each other. For example, we think ourselves, me.
Huh?
When somebody look at you, they think, oh, he or she. They're pointing you, oh, he. They are not pointing you, oh, it's me. So you yourself are me, also you yourself, also others, right? Because you are other from the concept based on other person concept. Therefore, me and other not exist totally separately. It look like Eastern and Western. Therefore, when you do the practice of exchanging yourself, there's a two obstacle. Number one, you make a categorically differentiation between people who are happy or suffering. Then differentiate blue and yellow as blue and yellow. Then you accomplish your own happiness and remove your suffering because you think of them as mine, and you neglect other happiness and suffering because you think of them as belongs to others. So therefore, the remedy for this is not to make a categorically distinction between self and others as a being essentially different. Rather, understand that self and other are mutually dependent, such as that when you are aware of self, you are aware of other. And when you are aware of other, you are aware of self. It is like beings aware of near mountain and the distant mountain. For example, relative to your being here, you think of mountain, there is the distant as being distant mountain. Right? Therefore, in the reality, yellow and blue is totally separate phenomena. Yellow never be blue, the blue never be yellow. It's totally separate. But the case of mine, of me and others is not like the phenomena which is yellow and blue. You also others. Other also you. You doesn't mean individual you. So we have a concept, me and other and me. Actually, all human beings, all sentient beings, individually as a I am, relatively he or she also others. Therefore, me and other not exist independently, we are exist dependently, relatively. For example, the mountain, we say when you are in the eastern mountain, on the eastern part, you can pinpoint this mountain, that mountain is the western mountain. When you go to the western mountain, you are pointing to the mountain, say, this is the eastern mountain. Actually, the eastern and western mountain is relative. Therefore, me and other, you and other also exist relatively. Therefore, you should not think me and others is totally separate, totally separately distinct. This is one of the obstacles. If you think it's totally separate, it's not. right? There's a two obstacle. First, you think me and other totally separate. No. Second obstacle, this is my happiness, I must achieve. This is other happiness, I should not remove. You think there's no connection. It's also one of the obstacles. Then page number 54, first, second, the third paragraph, third. Number 2, you must remove the obstacle of thinking. Also, many people think, many people say, look at somebody fall over on the roadside. Somebody carry very heavy, heavy like things. And you wish to help the person. Then your friends say, no, you should not. This is not your business, right? You wish to help to the person, you wish to support the person, but many people said, no, it's not your business. Also, we think, why I need to care other beings, why I need to care other welfare, why I need to remove others' sufferings. Because others' suffering is not mine. My suffering is not there, not belongs to them, not their sufferings. This is also one of the great obstacles to practice exchanging and self and others. So how we can remove this obstacle? Here, you must remove the obstacle of thinking, I will not make an effort to dispel others' suffering because others' suffering do not harm me. It would be like a not accumulating well in your youth or fear of suffering. That's mean. So why I need to remove other sufferings? Because other suffering is not my sufferings. Other suffering cannot harm me. It doesn't affect me, right? We think this way. Then here, Lama Tsong-kha-pa said this is the wrong, thinking, because it will be like not accumulating wealth in your youth or of fear of suffering in your old age, because you think that your suffering is of old age does not harm to you in your youth. Therefore, many of us, we try to save wealth, try to save money for in our future life. We think when we get old, we need, wealth, we need so many things. So when we were young, so we try to save something for our future life. This Lama Tsong-kha-pa said, you no need to worry about your future life, because your future life doesn't affect your youthful life, right? So this is the wrong thinking. That your suffering in old age does not harm to you in your youth. Or, as stated in engaged in Buddhist authorities, it would be like not elevating the pen in your foot with your hand, because your foot is other, right? For example, when you have a problem in your leg, you need to remove by your hand. No need to remove by hand, because the hand is not the leg is not hand. Also, the pen which is on the head, on the leg, is not harm to the leg, sorry, hands. So this is, you're talking about obstacles. Then continuously, the next sentence, There's another question. But all age and youth are one continuum, and the foot and the hand are one collection. Therefore, they are not same as self and others, right? So then somebody, ask question. But all age and youth are one continuum, and the foot and hands are one collection. Therefore, they are not same as self and others. Yes, when we were very young, we need to think about our, future, because the youthful time and the old age time is a continuum. And also the hands and legs are like collection as a body. Therefore, this is not same as other and self. Then there's a response. Continuum and collection are designated to many mental and too many parts. They do not have self-sufficient essence. Self of yourself and the self of other must be posited to collection of a continuum. So self and other are not established by way of essence that can be posited as a dependently. Yeah, therefore here mainly when you do the practice of exchanging and self, one obstacle you think me and other is totally separate. Then using the idea east and west mountain, then you will realize me and other are mutually dependent. And also my happiness, other happiness also mutually dependent. Both of them not exist independently as a yellow and blue. Because yellow not depend on blue, blue is not depend on yellow. This is number two also, other sufferings doesn't harm you, but still you need to remove other sufferings. For example, you have a problem in your leg, but still you have to remove by your hands. A hand is not the leg, but still you need to remove the suffering in your leg by hands. Then somebody said, it is not the same as legs and hands, youth and old age, because youth and old is a continuum. First become youthful, and slowly the same person continually become, old. Then also, Lama Tsong-kha-pa said, the continuum also is dependent each other. Without youthful, they cannot be old age. So, therefore, other and self, other happiness and your happiness also mutually dependent. Then, I think we have to turn on the page number 58. And between there's a lot of quotations. Here mainly we study about the benefit of exchanging self and others, the faults of not exchanging self and others. Number two, we study it is possible to exchange self and other or not. then yes, we learn it is possible to exchange 7 others, like an enemy become friends, friend become enemy. Then what does mean exchanging 7 other? It doesn't mean you must exchange your body with the other person's body. You cannot change your body as other person's body as your body. Also, you should not think I am, other are me. You should not. This is not the meaning of exchanging 7 other. Then what does mean exchanging 7 other? So we need to exchange the mental state, the way of thinking. Until now, we always cherish ourselves. We always think ourselves. We always think our own benefits. We neglect other happiness. We neglect other welfare. We neglect other sufferings. Since today you switch the true mental state. You neglect, until now we neglect other suffering. Since today you neglect your own suffering. Until now we think our own benefits. We neglect other benefits. Since today you only think other benefit, you must neglect your own benefits. Until now, we put a lot of effort to remove our own sufferings. Since today, you must put a lot of effort to remove other sufferings. Until now, we put a lot of effort to achieve our own happiness. We neglect other happiness. Since today, we must put a lot of effort, a lot of practices to remove other suffering and neglect our own. We put a lot of effort to achieve other happiness for others, neglect to achieve our own happiness. So then here many people think, it is, very interesting, because naturally, since we were born, naturally nobody teach us, you think only yourself. Our parents, they didn't teach us. You always think your benefits, right? Nobody teach us, thinking about our own, only our interests. Naturally, we are being like that. So then, if you thinking only benefit for others, if you always concern for others, then you think, I won't get anything, all right? Yeah, we feel very uncomfortable. When you woke up early morning, you're thinking about others. You don't think your own benefits. Since you woke up, you always care others. You don't care yourself. Then you think, I will lose everything. I won't get anything. I won't get any benefits. It's a wrong thinking. Actually, you are thinking for other benefits, other happiness. Directly, you are thinking others. Indirectly, you will achieve your own benefits. Also, you are thinking, you're only thinking, removing other sufferings. You never think, I must remove my own sufferings. But in the reality, your suffering remove automatically. You never think how I can be happy, right? You think how other sentient beings can be happy, how they can have a cause of happiness. Yes, you are only think achieving happiness for other, you never think your own happiness. In the reality, your happiness will come very easily. You can achieve your own happiness very easily. Therefore, this is a very, we call, very miracle or magical, practice. For example, in the history, India, look at one of the famous person, Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi. So he married, he had a child, but he never ever think about his own family. He totally neglect his own family. He always think rest of the people. Then you can think, he become one of the famous person, one of the calm and happy person. The recent history, when think about the Mother Teresa, she was born in England in the wealthy family. She came to India. She always cared others. He always cared the orphan children. Then actually she always think others. Directly she always involved for benefit others. Indirectly, she, herself become very happy, calm, loving person. Now we look at the, His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. He became one of the famous person on the world because not the money, because of not the power, because not physically he is a very attractive person, because of the compassion, because he always think only how I can benefit others. He totally neglect his own benefits. Therefore, he became one of the famous, happy, loving, very kind person. Also, we can be like, like Mahatma Gandhi. We can be like Mother Teresa. We can be like Dalai Lama. Why we cannot? We think we cannot because we think we cannot practice the great compassion. We think I cannot practice the exchanging self and others. If we think we cannot practice, then we will be in suffering. We will have a suffering continuously, so we will be in samsara forever. Therefore, in order to free from samsara, in order to become a Buddha, we need to practice the exchanging self and others. Self others. So therefore, this is the number 3. Then number 4, what we learned, when we actually practice exchanging self, then we have 2 obstacles. Obstacle number 1, we always think, also we believe, other and self, other and me, others and me always exist independently. No. When we say me, it depends on others. When we say others, it depends on you and me. Therefore, others and me not exist independently, exist dependently. Also, second, when we totally make separate me and other, then also we make a total separate my happiness, other happiness, my suffering, and other suffering. Therefore, these are the 2 obstacles when you practice exchanging self and others. In between, there's a lot of quotation, so it's okay we can skip. Now page number 58. Page number 58. What all the masters said about, the bodhicitta and bodhisattva. Now also develop the certainty about the methods by means of the saying of excellent beings as follows. Adisha said, Tibet recognized bodhisattvas who do not know how to turn in love and compassion. Right? Therefore, what does mean? So when Adisha was in Tibet, he noticed many Tibetan monks and nuns, they talk about bodhisattvas, but they don't know how to practice great compassion and love. Therefore, Adisha said, Tibet recognized bodhisattvas who do not know how to turn in love and compassion. So like us, right? Like us also, we consider ourselves follower of Mahayana tradition, follower of the bodhisattvas teachings, but we don't know how to practice love and compassion. Therefore, if you consider yourself, I am follower of the Mahayana tradition, you must know how to practice love and compassion. Then second, someone then asks, well, then how should bodhisattva practice? He replied, they must learn in the stage from the beginning. So also this is very important advice. Then look at someone then asks, well, then how should bodhisattvas practice? He replied, they must learn in stages from the beginning. This is very important advice because many Buddhist people, even though within us, we totally neglect the beginning point, the foundation. So first what we need to know, first we really need in hand, we really need a renunciation. Renunciation means I definitely I want to overcome from the samsara. Definitely I want to overcome the cause of samsara, cause of suffering. First, you need to practice the renunciation. I really want to overcome samsara, suffering, cause of suffering. When you really think, really genuinely, purely, I really want to overcome from suffering, then you wish to achieve liberation, Buddhahood. Without renunciation, you cannot really practice bodhicitta. Therefore, at the beginning, renunciation. Second most important practice, need to know the practice of 10 virtuous actions. Practice the 10 virtuous action, stop the 10 non-virtuous actions. And when you think about the samsara, being a samsara, then you need to consider how other sentient beings in samsara. Then slowly you can have a great compassion, love, compassion, then bodhicitta. Without renunciation, you are not really entered into the Buddha teaching. Without bodhicitta, you cannot enter into Mahayana. Without realize the emptiness, you really, doesn't matter how much, how many times you recite a mantra, you cannot eliminate, you cannot get rid of the root of the samsara, which is ignorance. Therefore, Shantideva Adisha said, you must practice the stage from the beginning. Then there another quotation from Lamrim Chenmo, one of the famous Kadamba master. Lamrim Chenmo said, Shabopa, one of the another master, Shabopa and I have. There's been two masters talking. Shabopa and I have 18 human stages and 1 horse stages for the total 19. Then he was saying, I have a totally 19 different practices. Our human stage is simply to develop spirit of highest enlightenment and then learn to do whatever we do for the sake of living beings. That we have our 19 practice. What's the number one? Number one is our human stages. What does mean? Simply to develop the spirit of highest enlightenment and then learn to do whatever we do for the sake of living beings. Therefore, we follow the Mahayana teaching, we follow the Bodhisattva paths. Therefore, we need to generate bodhicitta. Whatever we do for benefit living beings. Benefit living beings. That means all your actions act to benefit others. For example, when you feel thirsty, when we feel thirsty, we need to drink our water. Also, you can think, drinking water also benefit others. You should think, I feel thirsty, I drink this water for becoming Buddha to benefit other sentient beings. When you eat food, also you should think, I need to eat food, then I can survive, then I can do practice, then I can benefit other sentient beings. Therefore, all your action act to benefit others. Therefore, what he said, you look at simply generated the highest, spirit enlightenment bodhicitta, and whatever we do for sake of others. Then our horse strategy is the since self-cherishing keep the spiritual enlightenment which has not arisen from arise and establish that which has arisen and prevent its increase, trend by keeping the self-cherishing away and doing what you can do to damage it. Therefore, what is the the horse stages is this. Since self-cherishing keeps the spirit of enlightenment, I think bit, so self-cherishings. So right now, everybody has a self-cherishing. Everybody have a self-centered attitudes. The self-centered attitude, the self-cherishing keeps the spirit of enlightenment, which has not arisen from arise, and destabilize that which has arise. Now, bodhicitta and the self-cherishings are enemy each other. So the self-cherishing stop to arise bodhicitta. Stop to arise bodhicitta. Due to a lot of effort, somehow you are able to arise bodhicitta, then self-cherishing again destroy the bodhicitta. I mean, look at the self-cherishing keeps the spirit of enlightenment, which has not arisen from the horizon, and destabilize that which has arisen, and prevent is increase. That means self-cherishing prevent arise bodhicitta, also become hindrance to increase bodhicitta. Then what to do? Look at, train by keeping self-cherishing away and doing what you can do, diminish it. Cherish living being and do whatever you can do, help others. Therefore, always try to reduce the self-cherishing, try to reduce the self-centered attitude. Let me look at the Buddhist Sattva practice. It looks very simple. You always look at your mind. Make sure you don't have a strong self-cherishing. Make sure you don't have a self-centered attitude. When you feel the self-cherishing and self-centered attitude arise, you must reduce. You must stop to arise. You always reduce, arise bodhicitta. You always arise other cherishings. That means you're just looking in your mind. You always watch at your mind which one is arising. Self-centered attitude, other-centered attitude. Self-cherishing, other cherishing. When you feel the self-centered attitude arise, you must reduce. When you feel other cherishing, other-centered attitude arise, you try to put more effort, let it arise. Therefore, you always need to check your motivation. This is said by Lamrim Chenmo. Next, Lamrim Chenmo, one of the Kadampa master, Lamrim Chenmo explained to Geshe Lobsang Yonten. That means they are talking about two practitioners. One is the Lamrim, one is the Lobsang. So the Lamrim Chenmo explained to the Geshe Lobsang that he had this and the meditative concentration, wherein is energy balance and absorb and so forth. Geshe Lobsang replied, even if you have meditation undisturbed even by the beating of the large drum close to your ear, if you do not have love, compassion, and the spiritual enlightenment, you will be reborn in the place that to avoid you must not confuse day and night. Then one of the Geshe said to Lobsang That means he was saying, I have a very important meditation. That meditation is very stable. Then simply Dumdumba said, if you don't have a love and compassion, bodhichitta, all your practice can be caused to arise problems. Therefore, as a Mahayana practitioner, the first practice of love and compassion, bodhichitta. Otherwise, all your practices became not important. Therefore, I really, urge all of you every day, please try to practice love and compassion towards all sentient beings. Always practice bodhichitta. Because Buddha Shakyamuni said, one object in your hand, everything will come. Remember, one object in your hand, everything will come. No. Oh, one object in your hand, all the Buddha's qualities will come in your hand. Please remember this sentence. One object in your hand, all Buddha's qualities will come in your hand. Buddha said this. Then the disciple asked question, what's the one object in hand? Buddha said, great compassion. Great compassion. When you have a great compassion in your hand, in your practice, then all the Buddha's qualities will come. If you don't have a great compassion in your mind, if you're not practicing great compassion, then there's no way to achieve all the Buddha's qualities. Therefore, as a Mahayana practitioner, it is so important to practice love, compassion towards all sentient beings. Otherwise, if you have a important meditation, to able to meditate for like 10 hours is nothing. Then there's another quotation. Kamlungpa, also one of the important master in Gyupa lineage. Kamlungpa said, through our dissenters in living being, who are what is most important, they will also do the same. Not being the benefit of virtual us. Whatever you plan to the root of the Mahayana or not, right? Whatever you planned to the root of the Mahayana or not, or whether you have genuinely entered the Mahayana or not, is all founded upon the love, compassion, cherishing others, and this force always consider what you should do to develop this. It is excellent if you do develop them. If you have not, do not let it remain that way. Always rely on a teacher who give the account of the teaching. Always associate with the friend who are training the mind in this way. So here what is saying simply, whether you are Mahayana or not, whether you are entered into Mahayana path or not, it depends on love, compassion, bodhicitta. Clear? If you don't have the bodhicitta in your mind stream, if you don't have the compassion and love in your mind stream, You should not live like that. You put effort. Try to practice love and compassion. How we should. That means you must rely on a master, rely on a guru who has the knowledge about love and compassion, bodhicitta. That means you're talking about rely on the Mahayana teacher. Second, not just rely on the Mahayana teacher, also you need, Dharma friend who practice love and compassion. Actually, you are practicing Mahayana path, practicing love and compassion. If you have a friend who are very self-centered attitude, who always have a self-cherishing, it also can be cause to destroy your love and compassion. Therefore, when you practice love and compassion, you must have a friend who practice the same as you. Therefore, what we call, Dharma friend, also we call evil friend. So, the person who cause you, who cause your practice, the person who help you your practice, we call Dharma friend. The person who cause to destroy your practice, the person who became hindrance in your practice and Dharma study, we name evil friends, Dharma and evil. Therefore, it is so important to have a friend, Dharma friends who do same practice. Not only that, then here look at, always rely on the teacher who give this kind of teaching. Always associate with the friend who are training their mind in this way. Constantly look at the scriptures and their commentaries which describe this. Amass the collection of the cause for this, clear away from the obstruction which is prevalent. Therefore, it is so right now, we are studying Lamrim. Particularly this day we study bodhicitta. Therefore, it is so important to read the Lamrim book very often. Also, you can read other books which is explained about bodhicitta, explained about great compassion. That means rely on the teacher. Also must have a Dharma friend. Also you must read, the teaching, read the books which explain about bodhicitta. Those are the good condition to generate bodhicitta. Then the last, moreover, if you train your mind in this way, you will definitely acquire all the seeds for developing this. So this work is not insufficient. So it's insignificant. Take joy, and the great Elder Adisha said. One who wishes to enter the door of the Mahayana teachings should develop through the effort over eons the spirit of enlightenment, which is like the sun that clears away the darkness and the moon that cools the torment of the heat. That's why bodhicitta is look like sun, dispel the darkness. Bodhicitta is look like moon, to dispel or cool the heat. Therefore, you need to put a lot of effort to be able to practice bodhicitta. So look at, one who wishes to enter the door of the Mahayana teachings should develop through the effort. How long? How long? Over eons. Over eons. Therefore, some of you, we may able to generate bodhicitta this lifetime. Some of you, we may not able to generate the actual bodhicitta in this lifetime. Still, you pray to all Buddhas, Bodhisattva, accumulate a lot of merit to continuously born in the place, which has a teaching, particularly Mahayana teachings. Therefore, we need to put effort for generating bodhicitta for eons and eons and eons. You should not feel discouraged. If you don't practice bodhicitta, then we will be in samsara forever. Forever. Therefore, you should think it is okay to put effort for 10 years, 100 years, 1,000 years, millions years, billions years, eons, eons. It's okay to put effort. Once you accomplish bodhicitta, then you are already on the path to Buddhahood. Therefore, you should not feel discouraged. You talk about, put effort for eons. Because bodhicitta is very important. The next, I think, the ritual for adopting the spirit of enlightenment. So this part, I think, so next topic, I will simply put all the order in simple way, then you will know how to adopt bodhicitta. I think many of you, attend yesterday teaching from His Holiness. Remember how he really give a bodhisattva vows. First, we recite taking refuge in bodhicitta. Then we did the 7 limb prayers. That means when we recite the verses taking refuge in bodhicitta, that means we are taking refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Second, then we recite the verses for practicing the 7 limb practices. Within the 7 limb, 2 important practices: accumulating merit, purifying negative karmas. Then he asked us to visualize the lineage gurus. That means we visualize all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas as a witness generating bodhicitta. Then we recite the verses 3 times. In middle, there's a verses mainly generating aspirational bodhicitta. The last sentence is engaging bodhicitta. 3 times at the end, we need to imagine I able to receive the bodhisattva vows from His Holiness Dalai Lama. All Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are the witness. Therefore, it looks like very simple, but we already put all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are witness. Today I generated bodhicitta. Since today, I won't harm any sentient beings. Then at the end, commitments. We have a commitments. Since today, until we become Buddha, I become Buddha, I will practice bodhicitta with the wisdom then dedication. Therefore, even though every day, I think every day you can take bodhisattva vows in front of the Buddha picture, statue, based on the visualization, visualize in all bodhisattvas, then you recite the Sangye Chöda, Tsoye Chöda, Jangjo Bardo, Dane Kyapsu Chi. These are taking refuge in taking refuge. Sangye Chöda, Tsoye Chöda, Jangjo Bardo, Dane Kyapsu Chi. Dagi Jinzo Yibe, Sonam, Dola Penji, Sangye Drupal Show. These are kind of, generating bodhicitta. Therefore, every day you can take bodhisattva vows in front of the Buddha statue, also based on the visualizations. So we can stop here our class today. So we can have a time for question answer.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Yes.
So we started off with a few questions, and rejoice, Geshe-la. I think I see a lot of new names today join us for Lamrim. So I think a lot of newcomers. So today we have 116 participants with us today. So let me start with the first question. So the first question from Lawrence. Lawrence have two questions for Geshe-la. Question one, Geshe-la, can you explain what's the difference between consciousness and mind? This is question one. Question two is, when we exchange self with others, is the mind that is working on it, or is it the consciousness that is working on it?
I think the first question is also, thank you for asking this question. Also, I think we have a new listener. So make sure, whatever you learn from Lamrim, from me, you keep in your mind, do more study, then you can practice the Dharma. So it is so difficult to explain what the difference is between consciousness and mind. English, we have a very few simple words. Consciousness. Generally, mind, consciousness, awareness, those are synonymous. Synonymous. Whether positive or negative, all minds are consciousness, awareness. So these are synonymous. The most important, for example, then we have a very particular words in Tibetan because Sem, a mind, Semjung equal mental factors. When you think about differences between mind and mental factor, then it's difficult to understand the differences between mind and mental factor. Generally, mind, consciousness are synonymous. Ignorance is a mind, ignorance is a consciousness, bodhicitta is the mind, bodhicitta is a consciousness. Then compassion, love, those are the mental factor. Those are not mind, the man mind. Still, due to the English words, we can say love is mind. If you think precisely, the love is not the man mind. Therefore, I think in order to know this meaning, you need to study about the text named mind and mental factors. Number two, you are asking when we do the exchanging self other, is just is mental working or not, right?
That's right. Whether is it the mind or is it a consciousness that is working on exchanging others and self?
Yeah, definitely is minds, is consciousness. Because bodhicitta is a bodhi, chitta. There are two words. Bodhi is a Buddhahood, bodhi. Buddhahood. Chit means mind. Mind towards Buddhahood. Yes, the exchanging seven other is a mind, is a consciousness because of the bodhicitta. Okay, next question, please.
Yeah, thank you so much, Geshe. So next question is from Brother Samuel. So Geshe, if you turn to page 51 of Lamrim, so in the page 51 Lamrim, on the last statement, it wrote in the Lamrim that practice this excellent secret. So Geshe, can you explain what is this last line on page 51 means? What is excellent secret?
Because this Bodhisattva, this, the way of Bodhisattva, love of Bodhisattva way of is translated from Tibetan. First, Sanskrit, they translate into Tibetan. Third, translate into English from Tibetan. In Tibetan, word is Sangha, secret, Tamba, excellent, Cheparcha, practice. Sangha, Tamba, Cheparcha. So why is a secret? So this kind of practice, exchanging seven others, practice of Tonglen, practice of giving your practicing giving your body, those practice cannot be stable for everybody. Everybody cannot practice, exchanging seven others because they don't have the, the brave mind. So this kind of practice, you must explain, you must teach the selective student. Therefore, we got secret. Excellent. Why we got excellent? So until now, we are in samsara. We always wish to be happy, but we always in sufferings. We always wish to free from suffering, but we always fall into suffering because the self-centered attitude, the self-cherishing is the cause to arise all kinds of problems and sufferings. Then, what is the main cause to arising happiness? What is the main cause to achieve happiness? The main cause is cherishing other-centered attitude. Look at, it's very strange. When you practice the exchanging in self, some amazing will happen. Therefore, we call excellent. Yeah. Therefore, generally, all the Mahayana master will introduce bodhicitta based on 7 cause and effect, not based on the exchanging with others, because it cannot stay for everybody. Therefore, secret. Excellent mean when you practice, is something amazing happening. Yeah, that's why excellent and secret.
Okay, thank you, Geshe. So I think Brother Samuel understand this. Before I move on to the next question, brothers and sisters, if you have a question, just type onto the chat. If you need me to unmute your mic, I will unmute your mic. If you not, you can do the hand raising. I can see I'll unmute your mic. So I will move on to the next question here. So Geshe, the next question is from Aiswa. So the question is, what is the name of this being that is being born in blissful land of the Amitabha pure realm? So what is this being called? What is the name, Geshe?
I think actually, generally there are 3 realms: desire, form, formless. Clear? Desire, form, and formless. So we human being, animal, hungry ghosts, hell beings include into desire realms. Second, within the desire realms, there's a kind of, like a celestial state. For example, the Tushita, the place which is right now, the Mitra Buddha, stay there. We call tushita. Tushita is part of the desire realms, but not included into human and animal and hell, hungry ghost being. We have we call desire deva, right? Dev and human, desire deva, dev and deva. The pure land, I think, include into, is actually part of the desire realms. It look like for me, like tushita. It's not human, it's more like a deva. Still we call desire realms. We can call, desire being, but bit different than the normal desire realms. Actually, I really don't know. For me, I feel, the pure land, the blissful land, not actual the Amida Buddha land. So in the Amida, the bliss land, the Amitabha land, there are only Buddha and the Arya who already reached to the higher level of practices, even though ordinary Bodhisattva cannot be born there. So we always wish to born in the bliss land. Amitabha Buddha land is part of the desire realms, but they're more bliss, more free from suffering. They have a less sufferings. Yes, this is an answer for you. So I will check one more. Next question, please.
Yes, thank you, Geshe. So the next question is, I'm not sure whether is this an English word difference when it's being translated onto Lamrim, but now here the question is that, how come empathy is not mentioned in the text, but actually the mention is more on compassion? Is there a difference, Geshe?
Empathy and compassion is big different. For example, when you say, look like feel sorry, feel empathy means you feel bit, you feel sorry, but empathy is not really actual as a compassion. When you have a compassion, it pushes you to act. Only you have empathy mean you have just a thoughts. The thoughts not pushing you into actions. Therefore, empathy or sympathy, like something you call like a mercy, right? Those are not really stable in the Buddha teaching. Sympathy just has a thought. When you see somebody has a lot of suffering, you feel sorry. You feel, bit compassion, but it's not really pushing you into action. Therefore, compassion and empathy is a big difference. Also, you cannot see much this word in Buddhist teachings. Next question, please.
Okay, thank you so much. Next question is by Brother Lawrence. He would like me to ask on his behalf. Thank you so much, Brother Lawrence. He has been very attentive. I've been asking questions for the past few lessons. I've noticed that. So the next question from Brother Lawrence is on, Geshe, does it mean that in blissful realm, are they still subjected to 12 links of dependent origination?
Yes. 12 link dependent originations, you can have two categories. One is the positive, the 12 link interdependence. One is the negative. Let's say someone is very serious about practicing pure land. Then, before the person totally disconnect with this physical body, before the person leave this body, a person can have because of imagination. The person can see, like Amida Buddhas and Bodhisattva come and bring the person to a pure land. That moment, the person actually, I think within the 12 link, I think becoming. Remember, what are the clinging and grasping? Clinging and grasping is 8 and 9. First, clinging. Second, grasping. Third, becoming. Right? So before the person pass away, the person have a strong desire, like clinging to born into pure land. That moment, during the grasping and clinging moment, the person has a positive karma. The positive karma is activating. Slowly, the positive karma becomes so strong, so powerful. Then we say becoming. It is become complete cause to born into pure land. Yes, that means the karma activated by clinging and grasping due to the becoming that the person born into pure land. When first time the person born in pure land, the person has a name and form. Then consciousness, name and form, and contact, feeling. Yes, that means the person will go through twirling, dependent origination. Yes, the person have.
Okay. Thank you so much, Geshe. Geshe, the next question is from our sister Ling from New Zealand. I would like to unmute her mic. Okay, sister, your mic is unmuted. Can you ask your question?
Oh yeah, Tachidele Geshe. I have two questions. The first one is, someone asked me the practice of loving kindness. Because these days, loving kindness is in many like secular workshops. You know, like many lay people take workshops and they teach loving kindness. So they ask, if it's just wishing, how can the other person or the people receive the wishes? And also, how does it work? And this person is not Buddhist, so how do I reply? That's the first question. Then, do you want the second question now or
okay,
after?
I think I will answer the first question. Then you can
Thank
ask
you.
it. Yes. Just loving kindness is the mental state. Just wish. It's not just verbally saying a wish. It's hardly thinking all sentient beings or individually. Even though loving kindness can be for a few people. The loving and the kindness, loving kindness is not. It's a mind. It's not just verbally saying. It really wish, the person be happy, have a cause of happiness. Number one, the person who practice loving kindness, the person can get immediate benefit, because the loving kindness practice reduce the anger, the hatred, right? When the person doesn't have any more anger and hatred, the person never harm others. Indirectly, first the person, him or herself, can get the first immediate benefit. Second, indirectly can benefit many other people, because if the person is become purely, genuinely kind and loving and kindness person, the person never harm others. This day, many people harm others, lacking of the pure love and compassion. Therefore, yes, just wishing, the person cannot feel, get the benefit. Indirectly, many other people can get benefit being alive and, compassionate. Immediate benefit, the person who practice, he or she can get benefit. Indirectly, for the long term benefit for many people. Yes, second question, please.
Thank you. Second question is, if someone has lost their relatives to COVID-19, then what practice can they do for them? But they are not Buddhists, so the people who die are not Buddhists. What practices can they do? And also, how can they cope with their own grief about the loss? So I'm just asking on behalf of a friend.
Whether you are a believer or non-believer, somebody lost someone, I think everybody feel upset. Whether you are Buddhist or non-Buddhist, you are rich or poor, male and female, when you lose someone which is very close to you, you feel very unhappy, you feel misery, you feel very difficult. It's true. Therefore, first, the person who feel very upset, first, the person itself have to accept the fact. Since we born, at the end, we need to leave this world. Need to accept the fact. Also must know the person who passed away due to the COVID-19, he or she already passed away. He or she cannot come back. Also the person accept the second fact. First, everybody will go through this process. Second fact, whoever passed away, they cannot come back in person again. If you think these two things, the person very easy to overcome from depression. The person very easy to overcome, the unhappy mental state. Second, in order to benefit, the people who pass away, those are not Buddhists, those are not follow the Dharma, they won't do, chanting recitation. In order to give a benefit for the person who passed away, the family, the friends, the relatives can do some charity works, some noble works. Go to hospital, bring some food and clothes for the patients. Give a little gift to the doctors and nurse. Also make some donation for the people who need it. Make a donation to the charity in the society. That means a person who making donation, the person who support, they feel very happy. I'm doing something for the person who passed away. So I think those people do more, social work, to do some, like a good job, good work for benefit the people who live around there. I think this is the best practice to benefit the people who pass away.
Thank you very much, Geshe.
Okay, most welcome. Next question, please.
Yes, Geshe is from Kwan Kit. Kwan Kit have 3 questions. I think it's good for us to learn together. So first question is, there are 18 strategies. Please elaborate one horse strategy. That is question 1. So Geshe, would you like to answer the first question first?
Okay. It doesn't mention all the 18s. Look at human stages and the horse stages. They say, I have 18 human stages, 1 horse stages. What is the horse stages here? So our human stages is simply to develop spirit of enlightenment and then learn to do whatever we do for the sake of living beings. This is the human stages, right? Human stages. It's very simple. From the 18 human stages. The first one, develop bodhicitta, and they learned to study to do whatever we do for the sake of living being. This is the first human stages. This just name it. It doesn't have a very special meaning. Second, look at the horse stages is the since self-cherishing keeps the spirit enlightened man which has not arisen from arise. So that means when you have a self-cherishing, this is the great obstacle to arise bodhicitta, because it keeps, not let it arise the bodhicitta. Not only that, they look at and destabilize, because self-centered, self-cherishing bodhicitta can have within 1%. Also, you should not think, if I have a bodhicitta, the self-cherishing cannot arise. Yes, at the beginning, sometimes you can able to practice bodhicitta, reduce the self-cherishing. Sometimes self-cherishing arises so strongly, reduce the bodhicitta. Therefore, it's become, ups and down. Therefore, second, due to the self-cherishing, first is stop to arise bodhicitta. Second, it make stable about bodhicitta. That means, I think, is teaching how to train the horse. So I think these are kind of Tibetan culture, but it doesn't have an important meaning why we say human stages, why is the horse stages.
Thank you,
Then,
Geshe.
For example, when you train horse, right, first you need to know how to read the horse. Once you own the horse, you have to be very focused. If you lose your focus, immediately you fall over from the horse. That means once you generate bodhicitta, you just should not live there. You always look at the minds. Make sure the bodhicitta is always there. Make sure the self-cherishing not arising. Yes, second question, please.
Yes, Geshe. The second question is on self-centered and self-cherishing. So these two terms we have commonly interchanged on each other. So is there a difference on these two terms, or are they the same?
It's a bit different. Self-cherishing is more, I think, more soft. Self-centered be self-cherishing, self-centered attitude. Yeah. Actually, when you think the differences between the two minds, self-cherishing means, you're thinking about your own happiness. You try to think your happiness, your benefits, your achievement is self-cherishing. You carry yourself. When it is self-centered, then the self-cherishing stone becomes so strong. Always put first me. Always first me. Food, first me. Clothes, first me. Always put you first. It will be called self-centered. Therefore, self-centered attitude, self-cherishing is both is self-cherishing, but one is self-centered is much stronger than the self-cherishing. Yes, next question, please.
Okay, Geshe, so for self-centered and self-cherishing, how is these two terms related to afflictive and cognitive obscuration?
Cognitive, it is not self-cherishing, self-centered attitudes. Those are not the cognitive obscuration. No. Within the three poison minds, ignorance, attachment, anger, those are not cognitive obscuration. No, those are the obscuration for liberation, right? Therefore, someone when achieve the arhat stage, he or she already eliminated the negative thoughts. Negative thoughts also is not considered as a cognitive obscurations. No, those are not the cognitive obscuration. Do you remember? Always you must remember the garlic and the smell. Even though there's no garlic, the smell is there. The cognitive obscuration always be the imprint, the mental imprint, which is lived by all the negative thoughts, include ignorance. Therefore, self-cherishing attitude, those are not cognitive obscuration. No. Next question, please.
Geshe. So I do not have any other question on the chat window I can see here. Let me see. No, I don't have any. Okay, I have Zoe. Zoe, we have one question from you just received. So Zoe, would you like to unmute the mic? Then maybe you want to ask Geshe. Okay, let me try to unmute you. Okay, Zoe.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you.
Page 54, the part on the respond, last second paragraph.
Mm-hmm.
The self of yourself and the self of others must be posit to a collection and a continuum. Would you please elaborate further how to posit this? I know this is from the Prasangika school of thought, but I think for many of our fellow students here, this can be a very difficult concept to grasp.
Okay. First, I think we need to go the number 2, right? Number 2, they're asking a question. You must remove the obstacle of thinking. I will not make an effort to dispel others' sufferings because others' suffering does not harm me, right? This is the obstacle for practicing, exchanging, and self. Then it would be like not accumulating wealth in your youth out of fear of suffering in your old age, because you think that your suffering in old age does not harm to you in your youth. Now you think one person, there's a youth time and the old age time. So during the youth time, out of fear that people accumulate a lot of wealth to benefit when they are getting old. Then he's saying you no need to worry because the harming for becoming old, look at, because your suffering is old age, does not harm to you in your youth. Or, as stated in engaging in the Bodhisattva, it will be like not elevating the pen in your foot with your hand, because your foot is others. Then second analogy, when you have a problem in your leg, then you no need to use your hand to remove the sufferings, because the hand is not leg. Right? This is a second analogy. Other old age and youth are similarly former and future lives are just illustration. The principle applies also the morning and the evening, former and later day, and so forth. There's a few analogy. Then somebody asks a question, arises question here, right? But old age, we are talking about 1%, like duration. Old age and the youth are one continuum. We are not saying two different persons. One is old, one is young. No, one person previous very youthful, they slowly became old. That means those are continuum, right? Continuum. And the foot and hand are one collections. That means when we say our body is the collective of legs and hands and heads and so many things. So many things come together, then we have our body. This is the second, answer here, question. Hands are one collection. Therefore, they are not same as self and others. Youth and old age are not same as self and other. Hand and legs are not same as self and others. They're saying self and others totally different. They're not like as a continuum of youth and old. And self and other is totally separate. They are not as a collection of the body. Then the response here. The continuum and the collection are designated by many moments and to many parts. They do not have self-sufficient sins. Then Lama Tsong-kha-pa was saying, whatever your response is the same. The continuum, the collection, those are self-sufficient. They do not exist as like a selfly, independently. The self-sufficiency. The self of yourself and self. That means self or yourself and the self of others must be posited to a collection and the continuum. Now, do you remember the analogy? The youthful time and the old age time. One person become first youthful, then become old. Those are continuum. Then save yourself and others also not exist as a independently. Those are exist as a continuum, as a legs and hand. Other must be posited to collection and continuum. So self and other are not established by way of essence that can be posited independently. That means Lama Tsong-kha-pa was responding, youth and old age, 1% continuum. Those both is not exist independently. both them, designation, mainly designations. Same when we say self, yourself, and others. When we think about self and other, both you yourself and other are also same as a continuum, not exist independently, is depending on something else. In the simple way, the youthful time, the old age time is continuum, but they are interdependent, not exist separately, totally separately. Therefore, self and other also there, but those are not there as an independent. It's same as youthful time and old age time. This means they are making same statement as a continuum of the youthful time and old age time, and self and other also dependent each others. Is talking about, you are right, based on the Pasangika views. Yes, any question? No, right?
No, Geshe-la, I think we are good for today. Yes, all the questions have been answered inside the chat window. Yes, thank you, Geshe-la.
Thank you so much for attending, the online Dharma class. I think some of you are very new to attend, my class. So I said many times, I'm in TBC as a resident teacher. Yes, you can consider me as your teacher, as your Dharma friend. You never ever consider me as your guru. Okay, so please feel free to attend the online Dharma class, the online puja. So you should not consider me as your guru. So whatever you learn from me, from my, the YouTube or whatever you learn from me, first you listen the talks, then you think it is useful or not, it makes sense or not. When you think it is useful, it is makes sense, it's not out of the Buddha teaching, then you can follow the teachings. So thank you so much for attending the online class. So at the end, as usual, we do the dedications. So during our Dharma class, we have accumulated a great amount of merit. Number one, because this is the time for the degenerating time. And this day, we are more than 7 billion human beings. Within the 7 billion, almost 99% people always busy with the worldly activities, always busy, always concerned about the worldly things. They never ever think about Buddhahood, bodhichitta, great compassion, emptiness. So we are very lucky to have this opportunity to think about emptiness, to able to practice bodhichitta, to able to practice great compassion, to able to practice patience. So due to this kind of positive actions, due to the positive mental attitude, so definitely we have accumulated a great amount of merits. First, as usual, please dedicate the merit to be cause to be Buddha. Then we really can benefit all kinds of sentient beings. In order to become Buddha, we need to know how to practice not only knowing, we really need to practice the Dharma. Therefore, second, dedicate the merit to able to know the pure Dharma, to able to practice the pure path, to become Buddha, to benefit all sentient beings. In order to know the Dharma, in order to practice Dharma, definitely we need to rely on the Guru. Therefore, please dedicate the merit to have a healthy and long life, all the lineage gurus in different Buddhist traditions. Also dedicate the merit to benefit all sentient beings in general, particularly to benefit your friends, your co-workers, your relatives, and yourself. Dedicate the merit to benefit the people who support, who contribute or sustain a TBC, particularly who would contribute for offering flowers, lights, fruits. Also, many people contribute, like the mentally. So also dedicate merit to benefit all sentient beings, particularly the people who support TBC. Jamba Bhavi Jeda Gyamba Dong Gundo Zambo Deyan Deji Deda Gunje Jesu Da Lojen Gewan Deda Tangje Adabdu Chaze Wadan Chujen Sheba Dan Jesu Yiran Gujen So Gewa Junze Da Ge Jesa Tamje Zobe Changju Chenbo Rongo Changju Senjo Rimbo Jema Ye Panama Ye Lastly, we dedicate the merit to reduce all the conflicts, all the war in between different countries. And this day, there's a huge intention about the South China Seas. Also, there's a huge, intention between India and China in border. Also, we have so many problems due to the COVID-19. Please, everybody pray to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Also, accumulate merit and dedicate the merit to overcome all kinds of all kinds of conflicts, all kinds of war, all kinds of sickness and disease. And thank you so much, and have a happy Saturday.